you're tuning into another Arizona United Soccer Talk 1v1, and on today's episode, we're joined by defender Daniel Antunes. You grew up in California, in the Orange County, Santa Ana, more specifically. I mean, to grow up in a soccer hotbed like that, where so many good players come out, I mean, what was that experience like growing up and being able to play in that environment?
It was good. I didn't really realize how good it was until I moved to Texas, especially East Texas, small city. So, you know, you really don't have that culture over there, that football culture like you do in Southern California. So I think it helped me out a lot, it helped me develop a lot as a player, you know, and I think that's one of the main reasons that I'm playing professionally today.
And then you get drafted by the Colorado Rapids at the end of your senior season. You did play in a reserve game for them, but you get cut. I mean, just kind of what went through your mind at that time? I mean, you had such a young age and kind of have that high hope, and then all of a sudden you get brought back down to earth.
It was a bit difficult because I always hoped to play for an MLS team. I had that opportunity, but you know, things didn't pan out. But I was fortunate enough to continue playing the rest of the year and, you know, get a few games in.
Well, your journey then took you to Europe. You played in Finland for two different clubs before you returned back to North America. But kind of a little interesting to go from Rochester also to Finland. How did that come about?
I went to Brazil. Before that, I was with a club in a third division team. Things didn't really pan out. I was there for 7 months, and a friend of mine was playing in a team in Finland. He called me out of the blue and just, you know, asked what I was up to. They were looking for players, going through the relegation stage, and needed some players that could come and help the team out. He got in touch with me, and I just booked a flight and ended up going there. I played for a team there called Paulo Euro, finished out the season, and the next year I was offered a contract from a Premier League or Premier team there in Finland.
Well, then you transitioned that to signing a contract with a club in Mexico, which I believe you signed that on Christmas Eve. I mean, how many guys are signing contracts on Christmas Eve? I mean, how did that happen?
I was before signing my first year in Finland, I had gone to Puebla in the first division in Mexico, and we didn't, there was problems with the terms of my contract, and decided to go back to Finland. And during the summer, I was offered to go to a team in the second division in Mexico. After my first year in Finland, I was offered to go back to that team, which was León, and things didn't really pan out there. And the coach that was in Puebla, Chelis, he offered me to, you know, he gave me an opportunity to go to Tecos with him, and that's how it kind of all developed. And
then you played there for a little bit, and then you returned to Finland, and then you eventually end up back in Chivas USA. So I mean, your journey is kind of taking you kind of all over the place. I mean, how did you eventually come back to America and be able to play for Chivas USA, a hometown club where kind of you grew up and had a chance to kind of watch them as a kid?
Yeah, it just by chance, you know, the same coach, Chelis, he ended up being the head coach at Chivas. I always had a desire to come back and play here in the United States, play closer to home, have family members come to games and friends. And it was just by chance that he ended up getting that team, and Chivas grabbed my discovery rights, and I just ended up going to preseason with them in early February. And then you eventually play a few games for them, and then you tear your ACL. I mean, at that time, I mean, what was running through your mind for you to go through this long journey, and you finally get to the MLS level, and then you're injured a few months into the season? I mean, it was difficult, you know, but the only thing running through my mind was just getting better. I mean, luckily we had a great staff, medical staff. My surgeon was pretty good, so I mean, it was just a difficult time for me because I was just getting into the rhythm of playing. I'd come on a few times as a sub. My first game as a starter, you know, I get injured, so the first few weeks were very difficult, but you know, I had my family close by, so it helped me get through that rough patch of the year.
And for you to kind of go on this journey, for you to play, you know, grow up in California, Texas, and then Europe, and then Brazil in there between, and Mexico, Europe, and then back to America. You know, if you can go back to, you know, Daniel at like 18 years old, I mean, what advice would you give yourself now, knowing that kind of the journey that you've had to go on?
No, I mean, I have no regrets. I've enjoyed my time traveling and playing in different cities, learning and seeing other cultures, you know. I mean, obviously there's a few things that you work on differently, do a little bit differently, but I mean, I think so far I've been happy with how my career's been going, and you know, I've enjoyed the time that I had playing, so I mean, I just say stay off the junk food a little bit, but that would be it.
I mean, would that be something you'd say if like a high school kid walked up to you and said, I want to chase the dream too? I mean, what would you kind of like? What advice would you give?
Yeah, I mean, the best advice I could give players that want to play professionally is the difficult part is not becoming a professional player, it's maintaining yourself as a professional player, because you do have to take care of your body, you do have to invest time and practice and effort, and it's difficult. It's far more difficult than just being able to go out there and play. It's if you want to have a long career and a successful career, you do have to invest and dedicate a lot of time and be disciplined.
You've seen so many different styles of soccer. You've probably played with so many different nationalities. I mean, how has that kind of helped you out in your career?
I think it's helped me understand players, especially, I was a young player at one point, and I had the fortune to play with players that would give me information, help me out, and I think that's helped me, kind of do my part here, with this young group that we have, and just, interacting with different cultures and different type of people. I mean, I think it helps anybody in the field and off of it. So I think it's been good for me.
Will it help you be a good coach one day, being able to manage everyone?
I mean, hopefully one day. That's one inspiration that I have. After I finish playing, hopefully make a transition and just help develop players and give my input of how I see football and my philosophies in it.
You got a few more years before that happens, though. A few more years of playing time.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for jumping on the Arizona Soccer Talk 1v1, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thanks.